What's up, everybody? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media, about Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs, the way we like to own our movies, our TV shows, our concert videos, whatever it is you like to own and share with your friends and family and watch in the best possible form that you can. I'm sorry that intro is always so long, but I feel like it's important for new visitors to the channel to quickly be able to hear, or long-windedly be able to hear, what the conversation is about. So if you are new, please give me a sub there at the bottom of the video and join the conversation with us. We got a lot of things coming. I got a lot of unboxings coming and more things like what I'm about to do for you right now, which is a bonus features breakdown for the Blue Underground release of The Final Countdown. You can see there that cool lenticular there. You might have seen me quickly unbox this in a YouTube Shorts video. If you hate those videos, don't worry. I'm going to continue the long form unboxings as well as long form bonus features breakdowns and reviews and such, like I'm doing for you right now. So, Final Countdown is a 1980 film starring Kirk Douglas and Martin Sheen, notably produced by Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman as a producer is more notable than the actual director, to be honest with you. So, the film is sort of this popcorn science fiction story that asks one of the classic science fiction questions. There's a handful of very specific science fiction questions that have been asked over and over again. And this one actually is, the question asked here is a core question for the TV series Star Trek. Has been since the show was created in movies, everything. And that question simply is, do you mess with the past if you have the opportunity? So, this modern aircraft carrier, modern as in 1980, out on a cruise, is somehow sucked into a time portal and dropped right back in its original spot hours before the events of Pearl Harbor. So it becomes a question, do they go and stop Pearl Harbor? Do they save all these lives and change history, their history? Or do they stay back Prime Directive style, Star Trek Prime Directive style, and, do nothing? That is the best part of the film. It's the middle chapters of the film where you see science and morality and politics and the military all fighting it out on this ship over what's the right thing to do. Now, the ultimate sort of conclusion to it is a little bit of a crutch writing-wise that I am not the most in love with, but I will say I don't care because the journey is so entertaining. Watching this film, it feels very 1960s, even though the film was made in the early 80s. It's a super patriotic type of film. Let me tell you that right now. The music is sort of 4th of July sounding orchestra stuff, and it's very, not very, but it does have a rah, go military feel to it. And you learn why in the bonus features. Without getting too spoilery about what's on here bonus features-wise, they wanted to film on the actual aircraft carrier featured in the film. So they made deals with the military to do that, and the military at the same time was looking for a recruitment tool. They weren't held in the best regard in 1980 after the Vietnam era and everything else, and they were just looking to recruit. So it wasn't that this movie said in any way, go join the military. But what they kind of made sure of was it didn't say not to. So that is a thing there. It doesn't really affect the movie at all. Just an interesting tidbit about why it feels so patriotic, I guess, in its vibe. That patriotic vibe is entertaining, though, because, again, it feels very 60s for a 1980 film. I enjoyed that, looking back. I kind of see why Blue Underground has maintained this film so well, because it is fun. It is that sort of light popcorn science fiction, but not dumb, It's not a dumb story. So I say give it a go if you like sci-fi. It's well acted, it's well done for the most part. The 4K presentation here. The HDR is very well implemented. It's not overly bright and blown out like a lot of current films are, like overcolored, and it's also not a super dim image, which often happens with these HDR presentations. Hot take here for some of us. Blue Underground does 4K better than Disney. This is a better rendition of this movie on 4K than the Star Wars 4Ks. I have not bought the original trilogy 4Ks because I looked on Disney Plus at what the 4K looks like, and I thought it looked like trash. I didn't think it looked good. I think it's dim and bland and not Star Wars enough. I'll keep my Blu-rays. That happens sometimes. Anyway, maybe that's a hot take, maybe it isn't. So, overall, the movie looks very, very good. Detail levels obviously much higher than the previous release. Color dynamics are solid. Skin tones look great. Explosions in here and special effects are not going to be that sort of spectral, like pop of the eye thing that we get with some, top tier films, but they look good. They're dynamic. So I say it looks pretty great all around. This is on par with Blue Underground's Vigilante presentation, but not to the level of Daughters of Darkness or Zombie. So there is a tiered system in the Blue Underground 4Ks, and some are way better than others. And those two are kind of two of my favorite releases. Maniac is quite good, also, especially if you're looking for an example of specular highlights. So anyway, that's it. So now, bonus features wise, because we're going to break them down just a little bit here. The packaging is great. It's more of the, and you can see the bonus features there. It's more of this sort of sophisticated, premium feel, slip and black, majority black design that Blue Underground has been doing with their 4K releases. And I am not complaining. I like it. So I'll take the slip off, and you'll see I've already reversed the artwork to the original artwork. And, the back is the same. This gets to my first complaint about this release. And, my complaints, generally, I'll go ahead, spoiler alert, my complaints are minimal. But I don't like this stacked disc format that's happening right there. I'm not into it. I would rather have had a hinge, although I know often those get broken. But I don't like how these have to stack. So we have the Blu-ray, we have the 4K, and then we have the soundtrack CD there. Blu-ray and soundtrack are from the previous release, as is the booklet. And this booklet is good. It is definitely substance over imagery because the screenshots are all pretty small. But there's a lot in here essay-wise to read. Bonus features. My favorite bonus feature on this set, easily my favorite bonus feature, is the Lloyd Kaufman featurette. Because what I love about it is Lloyd Kaufman, you can say a lot of things about him, but he is an honest filmmaker, and he pulls no punches about his experience making this movie. The good, the bad, and the ugly of it. And it's entertaining, just like all Lloyd Kaufman interviews are. Now, sadly, featurette-wise, the featurettes that we have are brought over from previous releases. So the Lloyd Kaufman one is in SD, and it's upsampled to HD, to 1080p. It looks not that good, but the content is king there. There's also a lengthy featurette, which is also really great, with the original fighter pilots that volunteered to be part of the team that helped make the movie. Kirk Douglas, did I mention that? Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen are the stars in this film? I should have, because this is A-list actors for Lloyd Kaufman. They all wanted to see actual fighter planes do actual things. They didn't want to try and do it with miniatures or something like that. So this team comes in and they do the stunts, and they're proud of them. I mean, they really love their time working on this film, and it's so cool to see them all talk about it and share their own personal stories as well as the work that they did. Again, it's from a previous release, so it's not a new interview or anything, but still really great material. Really cool to watch. It's just fun to see people with so much exuberance for filmmaking. So there is also a commentary on here with the director of photography. After hearing Lloyd Kaufman's discussion on the film and then watching that commentary is pretty entertaining. Highly recommend, if you get this movie, watch the Lloyd Kaufman featurette, then watch it again with a commentary. So it would have been nice to have had more new stuff here. There really isn't, and that's a shame. There's photo galleries and trailers also, and those are cool. I'm not the biggest fan of photo galleries on disc. I would rather see them to start in the booklets, put the photos there. And I know that's a lot because they give you a lot of pictures, but I'm okay with it. I like seeing the behind-the-scenes imagery, so I guess I'm kind of conflicted. So the trailers are a must for me. I love looking at old trailers. They don't make trailers to the level of quality, even for lower budget movies like this one today, like they did back then. Lloyd Kaufman stories are interesting because Lloyd Kaufman was already doing trauma films at that point in time, but he was also producing other work, to make ends meet, and he ended up connecting with the studio for this film. They wanted to do it in that trauma fashion, not cheesy and cheap looking, but they did want to maintain control of the budget. So they brought him in, and he got to do a Hollywood movie, essentially, with A-list actors. So I don't know that his career ever found him working on a film at that level again, unless he was acting in it as a cameo or something. So overall, it's a great package. Is it Blue Underground's best? Stuttering. Why am I stuttering? Is it Blue Underground's best? No, not close. Is it better than most 4Ks out there coming from big studios? Yep, sure is. And it's because their source material was so strong as far as extras go. They had a good commentary, and they had good featurettes to start with. But yeah, there's not as much depth here as I would have liked. Obviously, we're not getting Kirk Douglas, to come and talk, but still, they could have maybe done a new featurette or something to celebrate this 4K. That would have been great. But if you're a Blue Underground collector or you like science fiction, you're going to enjoy this one. And again, the bonus features are an entertaining watch. So that's my review and bonus features breakdown of the final countdown. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got this set, please let me know in the comments what you thought, and let's continue the conversation about physical media. Until next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with your friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films and TV. I'll see you guys on the next one.